Today I'm going to talk about trauma and relationships. How it can affect us in a relationship or a situationship or in every kinds of relation with other people if we have trauma in the past. That depends on what kind of trauma we have been struggling with. And if we are a female or if we are a masculine too. And I don't know what kind of relationships you have had, but maybe you have been in long relationships, several relationships, or one long relationship, or not so many relationships. Maybe you're afraid to meet someone, or maybe you really want to meet someone. But if you're wondering how your relationships or your relationship is going, you can ask yourself, how do I feel about my relationship now? What kind of feelings do these relationships give me in the present? And that there you have your answer. You have your answer to a question. Because if you feel lost, you feel lost. Or if you feel empty, you're empty. Or if you feel not seen, you're not seen. You don't feel seen in your relationship. If you feel loved, then you're loved. If you feel lonely, then you're lonely. If you're scared, you're scared. Because you know that trauma in the past, if we have suffered for trauma in our past, we have quite hard to understand our feelings and to listen to our feelings. So we have to learn how to listen to our feelings in the present, because we cannot live in our past. Our past is very much living inside us, but we are living in the present. But we do not understand that there is no time between the past and the present. We believe that, we think that, but it's no time. There is no beginning, there is no end. In every present time there is a beginning and there is an end. But it is no line between when we were born and today. Not directly. Because right now you sit here, maybe you are 40 years old, maybe you're 50, maybe you're 20 years old. But the person who sits here and listen to this, they are exactly every age from now to the past. So the person who sits here are 5 years old, and you are 2 years old, and you are 17, and you are 27, and so on. We learn that we are grown-ups. Everywhere we go, if you go to healthcare, if you go to therapists, we learn how to manage our future. We get the question, what do you like? What do you want to have? Which way do you want to go? What kind of relationship do you want to have? When they ask you, they say, what do you want to have? And who are you? You don't know who you are. Because first you have to learn who you are, and then when you learn who you are, you can go forward. But we cannot live in the future, and they taught us to live in the future, to have one foot in the future. But that's not quite right. It's very hard to live with one foot in the future. And imagine that you have one foot in the future and you are lost in your background. Who are you then? You don't know. You're lost. You feel lost. And that lost feeling is also from the past, where you felt lost. Your parents and your significant others made you feel lost. So you have had that feeling inside you that is affecting you and your relationship today. Lost. So if you have that lost feeling from your past, or an empty feeling, you will feel that today too. Because your relationships will trigger that. Or is something, if you are spiritual, like I am, we believe in, we have to learn something, that we come to this earth to learn something. And we listen to that deep inside us. And we understand that we have to heal our wounds from the past. And that is why it's coming up today. It's our shadow. And it's shadow work. Shadow is our dark side of us. And the darkness is nothing to be afraid of. The darkness is our wounds, our pain and sorrow. And we learn people not to feel pain. Because how can I, as a therapist, learn you to feel pain if I can take my pain? But here with me now, you can feel your pain. It's okay. So our relationships, in a bigger term, is something that you brought to your life. You search for it, this exact person, this exact relationship, to learn something, to be able to heal. And if your partner wants to stay with you, you can heal together. But if you want to get separate, well, it's like that. But I want you to study yourself now and wonder, how do I feel now about my relation right now? Do that for a second. Okay. Then ask yourself, what in this relation has made me feel like this? Lonely, alone, sad, worried, guilt, shame. We have, everybody, something that we feel in this relationship. So I want you to look at that feeling you have now. And maybe it's hard to look at your relationship and your feelings that you get from it, but it's important if you want to heal that wound. If you want to heal that wound, just don't go further away. Don't hide from this. Don't run. You can run from your relationship like in the physical, but not inside you. You can run from it inside you. You can go on, to other persons, or you can quit the relationship and start working and not listen to yourself. That's running. I want you to, whatever you do in the physical, do not run from yourself, your inner voice, your inside body, your emotions. We look at that feeling now. Take that feeling you feel. And I understand that feeling, and I know that you have had this feeling from the past too. And this feeling has been haunted you during your past relationships. Of course they have, Because you see the circle, oh, now it's again. Okay, now it's again. Because you are not done with it, you have not healed it, you have not looked at it. And I think that is something more inside this feeling that you don't understand yet. Okay. So you see that I have had these feelings from my past relationships. I have felt like this guilt. I have felt this lonely. I always feel left outside or not understood or not loved or not seen, or I get blamed all the time. Whatever it is, just take it as it is. But look at it, feel it. Understand that while you are doing this now, that everything that is inside you is from your past. It could be like, good relationships, good feelings, but also from bad relationships, hard feelings, and from trauma. Because your body is a mix of good and nice feelings, happiness, ease, comfort, and pain, struggle, And our shadow is that pain, our hurt, our sadness, our loneliness. And if we don't work with that when we are young, if we do not get help, if we are like struggling in an environment and we have no one to talk to, it will be an emotional blockage inside. It is like our body, emotional body and feelings will stay there. They will be like blocked there. It is like this emotional blockage. We have stopped there. It's a hurt, it's a pain, it's a wound. Just there. If something happened to you when you were 10 years old and you remember what happened to you, you remember that this thing happened. I have this memory. I was alone. They left me. I had no one. I stood there all by myself. Or someone hurt you a lot. That is a wound inside you. There is emotional blockage there. And it's still inside you. And you can even feel it inside you, I think, when I ask you about it. Where do you feel it? In your body. And there it is. You feel the hurt in the body because our body, under our head, and over the breast, around your breast, over your stomach, around your stomach, inside your stomach, under your stomach, there is our feelings, and every feeling, every piece of your body there is linked to your past, because you have your feelings there, in this area, not in your toe or your knee. And maybe you have that. Of course you have feelings everywhere, but here you have your emotional sphere. And the emotions are linked to memories. Otherwise you wouldn't have any emotions. Because if you think about emotion like fear, what is fear? What is fear for you? Yeah? Okay, you feel your heartache, you get hard to breathe. Or why does love make you feel like fear? Does this little cute kitten make you feel fear? No. If I said, police sound, if you hear that signal, how do you feel in your body? Yes, stress, worried. So you see that emotions are linked to memories. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any emotions. Because when I meet people and I hear them speak, and it's always so different things. People can talk about love in so different language. For some people, love is peace. For some people, love is passion. It's when you can speak to someone, when you're listened to, or when you do nice stuff. It's always different. And fear too. Fear for you is not like fear for me. So no one in the whole world can tell you how you will feel. No one. It's your feeling. So you feel maybe when we talk about this relationship you are in, if you take that, you feel this feeling inside you and ask yourself, where does this come from? What kind of memories do I have in relations with this? Oh yes. And ask yourself, what is my most early memory? What do you remember about this feeling early in the early life, in your childhood? It could be like in school, it could be when you met a girl or a boy, it could be like your parents. What did they do to you? What happened? Maybe you have felt this feeling for so long time. If you have guilt in your relations today, then you might have had guilt when you were a kid. But then the guilt was not the same, but it's the same feeling. But now it is like, what the fuck have I done in my relationship? But then when you were 7 years, you had guilt for maybe just existing. Maybe your mom or your dad were very tough with you and hard. And maybe if you feel lonely now, if you feel not seen in relation, maybe your partner is not seeing you, is not talking to you, is quiet. Or if you have chaos in your relationship today, maybe you are very hurt and wounded by your partner. You know that this wound is from your past. And then people say, yes, I understand this, but what can I do about it? What can I do about it? It's nothing to do, Not really, because this is a past wound. The thing is to do is to understand that. That's the first step, the insight that I am not only this 40 years old or whatever. I am 40 minus, in every age, every timelines. And you have to understand that your feelings today is exactly the same feeling you have in the past. So you can you travel in the past. Maybe you are if you have strong feelings today, maybe you are a time traveler, and you didn't even know that. Because you can travel back, When we do this back releasing trauma work, we go back to our story, we go back to this situation. And we see that little child, you can see her, you can see him now. Standing there alone, standing there in blame, standing there in that shit. So just look at him now. Look at her now. Sit beside him. Tell her. Not yet. Just look Look at her. Go to her, go to him. And sit beside your little child. And see them. See your child. What does he or she look like? What does she or he think about, feel? This is happening now. This is happening now because no one can tell that it's not happening. You are there. Your future self are there now. Beside him. Because you see him, you see her. And she looks so sad. And he is so afraid. Now you can ask him or her to look at you if you want to. Do you want to look at me? Ask that. How do you feel? Talk to her. How do you feel now? I see you. And it's okay if it gets emotional. I see you. I love you. It was not your fault. I understand that you are alone. And I will not take that away from you. And then you can listen what she or he is telling you. Because she or he knows, your little child knows, that this feeling will not go away. Because your child is living in the present too. You belong to each other. It's just that this little girl and boy has been stuck in that memory. And that's good, because if you didn't have that memory, you would be lost. You would be totally lost, because this is you. And I say to my people that I work with, this is you. This is like your treasure. And now we open your treasure. I don't know the name, where treasure is. You open that box and you see all your diamonds. Even if you have suffered, even if you have a lot of memories where you suffer, it's a diamond. It's stones that shimmer, because that was you. You were in that past. You were there. And when you see her now, when you see him, so much love. He was so cute. She was so nice. And they did not see that. You were so afraid because you had no comfort. You have not safe place. And he was not that glorious, beautiful kid that should be loved. So now I can give you love. I need to give you love. And this is working with your shadow. And I will stop here because I want you to understand that this little girl and boy is here in the present in this relationship now. So think about that. What is coming up? Why do I feel lonely? Why do I feel pain? Why do I feel hurt and blamed? Or guilt or shame? Yes, because of this. Thank you. Love you.